Paine Trail Half Marathon is one of my favorite races, which probably explains why I've run it 4 times already. The course is challenging enough to keep me coming back and gave me an opportunity to explore some new training grounds as far as trails. Last year I made a video of my interaction with the Paine Trail course and the whole experience. This year I want to focus on some of the people who are involved in my Paine half marathon trail experience that made it a memorable one. First, there's my friend for over 30 years, Orge. Now, she introduced me to group running, and she also introduced me to Paine. She invited me to my first group run in 2011, and she asked me to do Paine with her in 2019. Now, Orge is not a trail runner per se, but she is a well-rounded athlete. She runs, she swims, and back in the day, she used to like to dance as well. Then there's my buddy Leo. I met Leo as a result of those group runs in 2011. We were in the same pace group most of the time, although Leo was a little faster than I was, and he still is. And we did a lot of workouts together, and we became friends. And that was 14 years ago or so. But Leo did his first Paine half marathon this year in 2025. He still puts up some good numbers when it comes to speed. And he did really well in the Paine Trail half marathon. Leo and I got a trail run in together to train for Paine. And it's one of those situations where for runners who have a person who you run with every now and then, and it just kind of makes the running experience very pleasant. You know, we talk about some of those hard training runs that we used to do, but now most of the time our training runs that we do together are kind of light and not too stressful. So it's a pleasure running with Leo, and I'm glad that he got to experience Paine, and I'm glad that he and I are still friends. You can see by the way these little trees are moving, some indication of the wind. So yeah, it's kind of breezy today, which may help keep me cool on the run. But sometimes with this weather in the fall, it's kind of hard to dress for a run because I have to think about what I'm going to wear to get to the venue. Then I have to pack clothes for after the run. So it's always interesting. And I always have a backpack full of stuff for after the run. I got a feeling I'm gonna have some issues with my shoestrings. So I washed my trail running shoes, and I probably should have left the strings dirty because when they're dirty, they tend to stay tied while I'm running. I know it's kind of weird, but now that they clean, they're a little more slick, and they even as I'm walking, they loosen it up. So I hope it's not an issue, but just one of those weird little things that you kind of figure out as a runner. Then there's the race director with his three-sided brimmed Revolutionary War soldier hat. He commands a small band of pipers and drummers from the back of a pickup truck. From what I can tell, he's a very interesting character. If you want to know what I mean, just read the registry for the Paine Trail Half Marathon race and some of the disclaimers. Now, I'm not 100% sure that he's the author, but I'm sure he has something to do with the fact that it's there. But I really have to give it to him. He puts on a very well planned event. Good sponsors, good support system, nice volunteers, and at the end of the race, the selection of food and drinks are top notch.
On your mark! Good luck, everybody!
Paine to Paine, year number 4. Got this uphill. Looking forward to a good race. Just finished the uphill. About to hit the woods now. Really concerned about my laces. Hope they don't get crazy on me. That section kind of opened up, kind of wide. Okay, settle into a pace. Then there's the runner who I encountered on the course. I was probably around mile 4 or so, and I'm running and I'm filming part of the run with my action camera, and I hear a person ask me, "You want to get some video?" And my response was, "No, I'm good. Thanks. Appreciate it." And I kept running. But I noticed that this person stayed behind me for a couple of miles until the next water station. And I'm kind of glad he did, because hearing his footsteps behind me helped me stay on pace, helped me push it a little bit. So thank you to the tall guy. You want to get some video? Who was running behind me. I actually saw the tall guy at the end of the race. So I congratulated him on his finish, and he did the same to me, and we went our separate ways. Then there was a woman who I passed going up one of the hills on the trail, and she was really strong on the hill. So as I ran past, I said to her, "Good job on the hill." She said, "Thank you, you too," and I kept running. I saw her after the race, And I said to her again, "You're doing a great job on the hill." She said to me, "You pass me every year." She said, "You're a good runner." And I said, blushingly, if blushingly is a word, "Thank you so much." It's interesting that she remembered me, and it's interesting that I passed her a couple of years on the trail. But she was definitely looking strong on that hill, and I'm glad that she was able to finish as well. Then there's the runner who I refer to as the Kid. He came running past me at about mile 8, looking really fresh. And as he ran past, I said, "Good job." And he said, "Thank you," and kept going. Maybe about a half a mile down the trail, I caught up to him as he had stopped to tie his shoes. And just as I was approaching, he got up and started running again. So he ran ahead of me for a little bit, but he didn't look as fresh as he did when he passed me the first time. Eventually, I caught up to him, and I said, "How you doing?" He said, "I'm doing okay." But he was apparently struggling at that point. So I said to him, "Just breathe, relax. Breathe and relax." And he and I ran together for the rest of the race.
Nice job. Straight down the hill to the track. Nice job. Nice job.
The Paine to Paine half marathon trail run ends on a high school running track. As soon as we hit the track, he found some energy from somewhere and took off. What's up, what's up, what's up? When I crossed the finish line, I walked around for a little bit to let my heart rate come down. And as I was walking, the Kid and I started heading towards each other, and he flashed this big smile.
Good job, man.
And we gave a nice handshake and a bro hug. And I said to him, "Good job." And he said to me, "Thank you." Now, last but not least, there's Scout. Scout has been providing me with amazing support. That was Scout coming out to cheer me on. Scout and I met in 2019, a couple of weeks after I ran my first Paine to Paine. We met as I was on my way to pick up a bib for a run that I was doing, and she was just finishing up a training run preparing for the New York City Marathon. Now, Scout has an impressive running history as well, including the New York Marathon and Chicago. She has run a whole bunch of races and put up some impressive numbers. Knowing that Scout will be somewhere on the course when I'm doing a race or at the finish line, just cheering me on, it gives me some extra motivation and something to look forward to when I finish the race. Some people think running is a solo sport, but for me it definitely is not. Along my running journey, from Brooklyn to Boston, Maine to Moab, Staten Island to Sarasota, training runs to ultras, there have been people like Orge, Leo, the run director, the tall guy, the lady on the hill, the Kid, Scout, and many others who have helped me pick up my feet and make it to the finish. So to everyone in the running community, just want to say thank you. What's up, folks? So if you made it to this point in the video, please in the comments section write "stay on the move." I really appreciate you sticking it out for this 16 or so minutes video. I know people have busy schedules and stuff, so I truly thank you. It would have been easy for me to continue on, especially about my people Scout, Orge, and Leo, because they all have achieved much more than I was able to mention in this video. In fact, they all deserve their own video because they're just amazing people and amazing athletes. So thank you to them for being supportive and being inspirational